Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host and crew, ladies and gentlemen, on February the 24th, live from Tokyo, Japan. It is a world title triple header. You got Takuma Inoue versus Jerwin Ankahas in the World Championship fight for the WBA Bantamweight Championship. And then you got Kosei Tanaka versus WBO Junior Bantamweight title fight versus Christian Rangel. And then the main event is the fight that I'm really here to talk about. Alexandro Santiago defending his WBC Bantamweight Championship against, in my opinion, one of the best Japanese fighters of all time right now, currently. And my favorite Japanese fighter today, Junto Nakatani. Nakatani will be going up in weight, trying to win his third championship in the third weight class. He did it at 112 and 115. Now he's trying to win a world title at 118 against Alexandro Santiago from Mexico. In the history of boxing, in my time, for as long as I've been watching this sport, I have never seen a boring fight between a Mexican and Japanese fighter. I've never seen it, and I don't expect for that to change when these two guys step in the ring on February 24th. Interesting too is that this fight is going to be taking place on a Saturday. Usually these cards in Japan takes place on Tuesday, so that's excellent. That's excellent. So usually, I'm up by the time those cards start, I'm still sleeping. I'm getting up. I gotta go to work. So Saturday, February 24th sounds like a plan. I'll have time to see it, sit down and watch it in the night. I'm sure I'll have time. I don't think this fight card is gonna be in the morning, like the Tuesday cards they have. But it's interesting. It'll be on a Saturday night. But anyway, let's get into the fight, ladies and gentlemen. Alexandro Santiago, 28 wins, 3 losses, 5 draws, 14 knockouts, defending his title, WBC Bantamweight Championship. Very aggressive fighter, punches, high volume puncher, boxer puncher, good pop in his punches, tough, always brings it. And then you got the tall, lengthy boxer puncher, southpaw, in Junto Nakatani, who can put you out with one shot. But Santiago is a very durable fighter, so I don't expect to see that. I expect to see a very rugged scrap between these two guys, because Junto Nakatani can also fight on the inside, and he may have to, and for a lot of moments in this fight, maybe the majority of the fight, throughout the fight, because Santiago will be in there trying to close the gap and bring the pressure and make Nakatani fight on the inside. Santiago is going to have the advantage on the inside, but Nakatani, like I said, is an excellent inside fighter as well, who can also box excellently on the outside. Nakatani, 26-0, 19 knockouts. He's my favorite Japanese fighter right now. I have him at number 3. I got him behind Kenshiro Teraji. Number 1, of course, is the monster Naoya Inoue. But this is what I want to see. This is what I want to see in order for me to make my best and favorite Japanese fighter, Junto Nakatani, higher than number 3. He's going to have to make accomplishments, create accomplishments like these, by, getting a third world championship, third world title in the third weight class. And that's by dethroning the world champion in the WBC, Alexandro Santiago. And, of course, in impressive fashion, this is going to be a good fight. Like I said, I've never seen a boring Japanese fighter against a Mexican. These two fighters from these countries are warriors. The Japanese fighters are known to go in there and give it their all, heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears. Same for the Mexicans. And that's why when you see a Mexican and a Japanese fighter fight, you get fireworks and you get something special. Let's go down the road, shall we? We got Robert Guerrero versus Yoshihiro Kamagai. That was a war. Kamagai versus Soto Karas. Francisco Vargas versus Takashi Miura. Takashi Miura versus trying to remember the name again. Miguel Beltran. I think that's his name. And that was also Takashi Miura's last fight. Actually, one of his last wins. He scored that in 12th round stoppage. Oh no, it was against Daniel Roman. Yes, at the Forum in HBO. Then we got Omar Figueroa versus Nihishio Arakawa in San Antonio on Showtime in 2013. The fight that made me a fan of Omar Figueroa. That was a savage fight. It was part of a 3-fight telecast on Showtime in San Antonio at the AT&T Center. But that opened up that card, and it was called Knockout Kings at the time. And those two guys went out there and gave a Fight of the Year candidate. So Cotto, not Mexican. Hey, this fight is going to be no different. Another Mexico versus Japanese war is expected. And yeah, these two guys have a style that's going to be fireworks. Both guys are punchers. Both guys love the war. They love to come and fight. And I expect another barn burner in the underrated rivalry between Mexico and Japan. It's a big fight. At the 118-pound division. You know, we all thought that Alexandro Santiago was going to defend his title against Emmanuel Rodriguez from Puerto Rico in a unification, but I guess that didn't happen for some reason. And now we get this fight. This is a really good fight. Even though I was looking forward to Santiago and Emmanuel getting it on, but Junto Nakatani, like I said, my favorite Japanese fighter today, will be looking for another championship at a 3rd weight class against Alexandro Santiago on a world championship triple header from Tokyo, Japan. Should be an exciting night of boxing, man. You know, Inoue versus Ancajas, and you got Kosai Tanaka versus Rangel. Those are world title fights. And then, of course, the main event, Santiago versus Nakatani for the WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World, live from Tokyo, Japan. Who you guys got winning in that fight, Santiago versus Nakatani? You know, when it's hard to make a prediction, it tells and shows how good this fight how good this fight is on paper. You know, when it's hard to make a prediction on who's going to win a fight, you know, that means it's a good fight. So I expect nothing less from these two guys, man. You know, we just saw the latest episode in Japan's boxing with Kenshiro Teraji escaping within the skin of his teeth versus Carlos Canizales. And now we got another edition on February 24th between Santiago and Nakatani. So it's a great night of boxing. You know, Tokyo, Japan has been producing some really good cards, so this is another stacked one. And I can't wait for it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if Santiago can retain or Nakatani can become the new bantamweight champion of the world at 118 pounds. And, you know, solidify his status as one of the top Japanese fighters in the world today. He's my favorite for a reason, and I have no doubt he's going to show the world, not only show me, but show the world as well as to why I call him my favorite Japanese fighter today. And there you have it. This is Miracle Boy Boxing. I'm your host, Wilson Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.